You know, if you told me 5 years ago, which I just realized would be 2020 now, Jesus Christ, what happened? Anyway, if you told me 5 years ago that I would be making a video talking about Godzilla in Fortnite, I honestly wouldn't believe you. But sure enough, in the year of our Lord, 2025, Sam the Geigen fan is making a video talking about this. So let's just jump into it. Fortnite, you know what it is. I'm not gonna take time out of this video to explain to you what Fortnite is. You all know what this is. So I've been playing Fortnite for about a year now. Started in chapter 5, had fun during most of it, skipped out on reload because I didn't like it, and then we got leaks saying that Godzilla was going to be added into the new season, and as any respectable individual would, I lost my shit. I thought that the time for a Godzilla Fortnite crossover was done and gone after the release of Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. I mean, it was dropping around a time of the Greek God season, which was appropriate considering how the monsters in these films are characterized, and the film was just full of potential when it came to having a Fortnite pack dedicated to it. Godzilla and Kong skins, a Mothra glider, Kong's axe as a pickaxe, a Suko back bling, or alternatively, if you wanted to be really funny, you could have him as a pickaxe, but the time had since passed, and I thought the days of Godzilla Fortnite were over. But here it is, baby! Godzilla and Kong skins, Kong's axe as a pickaxe, Mothra glider, and so much more! I'm gonna level with you. The Godzilla Fortnite collab exceeded my expectations, and playing this game during that time is some of the most fun I've had playing this game in a long time. I got so many praises to sing towards this collab, and at this point, I've rambled on long enough with the introduction, so let's just get started and talk about this stupid thing. But wait, actually one more thing. Almost all the footage you will see in this video has been recorded by yours truly. I say this because you will notice that some clips here are higher quality than others, and that was because I was still figuring out the right settings. There are some good clips within those crustier videos that I thought would be fun to use, so if a video looks like it was recorded on a potato, that's why. Okay, now let's begin. I think a good place to start would be with the skins you get in this collab. There's 3, technically 4, skins that you can choose from. Those being Kong, Mecha Godzilla, Godzilla Evolved, and then a blue version of Godzilla Evolved labeled Energized Godzilla. If I'm being completely honest with you lot, I was really not expecting these skins to be anything special when I acquired them. I figured I would get them, play as them for a couple rounds, and then go back to maining Peter Griffin. Boy was I wrong! Each of these skins are all super fun in their own way. Let's start with the big green idiot himself. I feel like if any Godzilla design were to worm its way into Fortnite, it would be Evolved Godzilla. The sleeker design just feels like it would be easily slapped into this game with a few modifications as to be expected. Sure enough, when the chapter 6 key art dropped, there was the pink fuck hanging out in the background of both of them, both of which seemed to be pretty faithful to the GXK movie design. And then we got a trailer for the season, and the design definitely had some changes, a slightly more human look, but nothing too drastic. And then we got the reveal of the skin. Look, I feel like copying and pasting the model directly from the movie wasn't going to happen. Changes were going to be made, and I'm perfectly okay with such changes. Would I have preferred something closer to the film? Sure, but I've made my peace with it and learned to accept it. I still really like this skin, don't get me wrong, and I'd be shocked if they actually stuck to something that was much closer to the movie design. There are plenty of things about this skin that I do like. First of all, there's the reactive glow, in which you glow a bright pink whenever you shoot someone, echoing Godzilla charging up his atomic breath. I don't really have a whole lot to say here, other than I just think it's really cool and a nice way to work in one of the most iconic Godzilla features into the Fortnite skins. Admittedly, I do wish that the Energized skin had the same sort of reactive glow as the normal Godzilla, but considering that Energized Godzilla was also like this in GXK, it makes sense as to why they wouldn't do this. The other thing is less exclusive to the Godzilla skin itself and more to the collab in general, but I figured I might as well just mention it now and get it out of the way. But running around as a tiny Godzilla while holding a gun in Fortnite is genuinely hilarious. I remembered a few years back there was a contest announced for the Godzilla Call of Duty collab that had some rules written on it, with one of them being that Godzilla doesn't use weapons. But now, I can run around the Fortnite map as Godzilla while holding a gun, or a sword, or the butt scratcher from Family Guy, or a fucking bazooka. Who cares? He can drive a car, he can wear Jordans, he can plummet down from the battle bus while using the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men, and then glide gracefully down using the Peter copter. Can you tell what my Evolved Godzilla loadout looks like yet? If there is one thing that I just don't really care for with the Godzilla skin, is that it just doesn't work well with the game's back blings. Most of them just make a giant cut into the dorsal plates, and while I understand that they kinda had to do this, I really wish there was some sort of workaround so that you can keep the dorsal plates while still having different types of back blings for Godzilla. The only only one that does work for him is the one that is specifically introduced in the Godzilla Battle Pass, and while it does look cool, again, I would like some more backbling customization when it comes to the Big Green Idiot. Speaking of the Godzilla Battle Pass, since there's really no other place to talk about it, let's briefly go over it, or at least the two most notable things about it. First of all, we have the emote where Godzilla's running around destroying a city. I think most Godzilla fans were hoping for the victory dance from Monster Zero to be the emote, but this is a perfectly fine replacement. It's fun to walk around and actually see buildings pop up in real time, and I like how the sound design changes if you become Kong or Mecha Godzilla. Then there's the Mothra glider, and I'm really happy that Mothra got included as the designated glider for this pack. Mothra glider felt like such an obvious option for a Godzilla Fortnite collab, and I'm happy to see that the dream was realized. It's super silly seeing a tiny Godzilla fly in on a giant Mothra. Moving on from the Godzilla skin, we have the Kong skin, who I probably have the least to say about. I like the model a lot. He too has a lot of changes from the movie model, like making it more human-like instead of more ape-like, which is totally fine. I do like that he comes with a beast glove, though I do wish we were able to toggle it on and off, kind of like with the reactive glow for Godzilla. The beast glove emote is cool, and like Godzilla's, I like how the sound design changes depending on who's using it. I didn't get any footage of it, but Kong's axe also being in the game is really cool considering how natural of a fit it would have been. Not much else to add with the Kong skin. I like it a lot, it's got some cool features with it, just a good skin all around. There is one other thing I really want to mention with Kong. So sometimes during matches, you'll see a giant Kong hop onto the map, hang out for a couple seconds, and then jump back through the rift that he originally came from, also leaving some Monarch loot crates behind. I'm only really bringing this up because of this whack-ass theory I have regarding this entire collab, and I think that Kong jumping through the portal here is totally canon to the Monsterverse. Like, imagine Kong just jumping through one of those Hollow Earth portals, jumps out onto Fortnite Island, goes, shit, wrong one, and then jumps back through. It's inconsequential enough to where I would find it really funny if it was officially canonized into the world of the films. Finally, we have the third skin in this collab, Mecha Godzilla. I don't like Monsterverse Mecha Godzilla. Out of all the film Mecha Godzillas that we've gotten, this one is by far my least favorite. I hate how he looks like a Minecraft mob. I hate his stupid face that looks like he's got no teeth. I hate how wasted he is in Godzilla vs. Kong. I just don't like this guy. So let me be the first to tell you that I love Mecha Godzilla in Fortnite. Much like how I think it's silly seeing Godzilla run around the map doing a bunch of silly things, the same can be applied for Mecha Godzilla tenfold. I think putting him in the context of being a video game skin in a game where you do silly things unironically makes the design better. My favorite thing to do is just put him on a motorcycle and do some sick tricks with it. Imagine if Mecha Godzilla just comes back in the next Monsterverse film and it's just him doing a backflip on a bike. I also think another thing that makes Mecha Godzilla better in Fortnite than the Monsterverse is the amount of weapons you can give him. Yes, him holding onto guns and the like is still super silly, just like Godzilla, just like Kong, but you can also give Mecha Godzilla the sickest loadout possible. I give him this thing for the back bling, the War Machine wings as his glider, and those Cerberus claws for his pickaxe, and look at that, this thing is fucking sick. Considering that Mecha Godzillas are usually known for their wild assortments of weapons and gizmos, this feels more in line with a classic Mecha Godzilla than what we got in the Godzilla vs. Kong movie. While you're in the game too, you can hook him up with the Typhoon Blade, and I'm sorry, this goes so fucking hard. I managed to get some of the hardest recordings in this video from Mecha Godzilla wailing the Typhoon Blade around while fighting the Shogun, like, yeah, this is sick. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Fortnite of all things made me like the Monsterverse Mecha Godzilla design more than I did before. He's probably the skin that I use the most out of the three that were introduced, and I really enjoy playing as him whenever I do. I'm now seriously eyeing that new SH Monster Arts Mecha Godzilla solely so he can be my Fortnite Mecha Godzilla representation. That's how much this stupid game has improved my thoughts on this design. Okay, so that's all the skins done and out of the way, but it feels like I'm forgetting something. Oh. So yeah, you can play as a big fuck-off Godzilla in Fortnite, and of course it's awesome! Over the course of the Godzilla collab, I managed to become Big Godzilla about half a dozen times, and I can confidently say that Godzilla is really fun to play as. He's a little stiff at times, especially when you're trying to turn him around so you can attack another person, but other than that, playing as him is kick-ass. You can use a roar to reveal enemies around you, you can stomp on other players, or you can smite them into oblivion with your atomic breath. One of my favorite things to do as Godzilla is to go after one specific guy and just obliterate them with the heat ray. Destroying structures is really fun too, especially being able to cut through them with the atomic breath. Some other things about the Big Godzilla I really like. I love how when you run through the portal, the way Godzilla drops into the map is a one-to-one reference with GXK. It's like they saw that scene and said, write that down, write that down! Another thing that caught me off guard was the sound design for Godzilla. Yeah, it's the normal Monsterverse Godzilla roar, big whoop, but we got a really cool range of sound effects in here too, some of which we'd never gotten clean versions of before, many of which come straight from the 2014 movie. This is all a super pleasant surprise, and another example of Fortnite outclassing the movies by using more than one fucking roar for Godzilla. Alright, I get it! So that's playing as Godzilla, but there's one other aspect to the big green idiot that I love in this game, and that's fighting Godzilla. This is probably how most of you would have been playing when Godzilla showed up in a match, and yeah, it's stupid how much fun this is. First of all, there's a very genuine tension that you get whenever Godzilla appears on the map. First, there's a notice that the portal is opened, and if you don't get to the portal in time, you see him plummet down to Earth like a giant glowing comet. If you don't see Godzilla come into the match, you will definitely hear him. He's so loud that he can be heard from basically any point on the map. And when you eventually do see him, usually from getting on top of a mountain or something, the feeling of seeing fucking Godzilla destroy shit is incredible. And then there's actually going in to fight him. So remember when I said it's really fun to single out one player when you're playing as Godzilla and smite them? Well, the tables turn once the roles are reversed. When you're fighting Godzilla, him singling you out and going after you is genuinely terrifying. Considering how much damage one attack from him can do, getting hit by the big green idiot either results in you dying or barely escaping by the skin of your teeth. Thankfully, you are able to fight back against Godzilla by using your weapons, whether it's just the guns that you have with you, or a railgun that you can find in the Monarch crates that I mentioned earlier. There is somewhat of a strategy when it comes to taking on Godzilla too, that being his dorsal plates being his weak spot. Those are the places that do the most damage, and I don't care what anyone else says, that is a reference to the Godzilla anime trilogy, and I will not hear anyone say anything otherwise. This is what IGN meant when they said that those movies were Godzilla for gamers. They were predicting Godzilla in Fortnite. I think that's basically everything I wanted to mention relating to Godzilla and Fortnite. Overall, I think the collab was a huge success. I liked pretty much everything that it had to offer, despite the admittedly insanely minor setbacks that it came with. This was a ton of fun while I was a part of the game, whether it was playing alone or playing with all my friends. It's some of the most fun I've had with Fortnite, and I'll look back at this collab with some very fond memories. So, with all that said, what does this mean for the future of Godzilla in gaming? Could we see another Godzilla game due to the success of the Fortnite collab? And my answer to that is, I sure hope it does. To me anyway, the Godzilla Fortnite collab was without question the biggest and most popular collaboration that Godzilla has had with any game in the past 10 years. The amount of popular memes and fan art that I've seen relating to both Godzilla and Fortnite, and Godzilla being paired up with Hatsune Miku, who was also added to Fortnite around the same time as Godzilla, was countless. Something I didn't mention earlier in the video was how Fortnite actually upped the Godzilla spawn rate continually throughout the collaboration, starting at about 20%, then going to 40, then 100 for about a week before going back down to 60, and then finishing things off at 100 before he got removed from the game. I made a tweet commenting about this when they first upped the spawn rate to 100%, saying that if Toho doesn't respond to the popularity with another Godzilla game, then they are stupid. And that is a mentality that I will still stand by after all this is said and done. Again, this was probably the most popular collab that Godzilla has ever had with another game, and I feel like if nothing else, seeing Godzilla receive this much love in a video game should ring a big old bell for Toho that people want to see another Godzilla game. It's no secret that for a long time we've been kind of starved for a brand new Godzilla game, the last one being Godzilla PS4 all the way back in 2015, and since then we've been relegated to collabs with games both big and small. I think that now we're in a proper mainstream era for the franchise thanks to both GXK and -1. This is the perfect time to drop a brand new video game. I think Fortnite proved that Godzilla can work in a new game, and now it's up to Toho to see whether or not they'll make something new or just stick with what they've been doing forever and continue to make us suffer. But of course, these were just my thoughts and I want to know yours. What did you think of Godzilla and Fortnite? What was your favorite part of the collab, and what do you think is next for Godzilla video games? Be sure to leave those thoughts and more in the comment section down below, and be sure to follow my social medias and join my Discord server with the links in the description below. Anyways, I'm Sam the Geigen fan, telling you all that I leveled up on Fortnite this weekend and reminding you all to wash your hands.